Greetings, YouTube viewers. Brad from Lord Motorsports here, and today we are going to install a set of brake pads on the front of a 2000 Toyota Tacoma pickup truck, and we've opted out for the AutoZone Ceramic Gold Series brake pads, and we're going to be filming this with a new gadget here, which is the GoPro on the head strap. So hopefully be able to keep you in the action here and show you what we got going on. So bear with me here, we're about to get started. Let's get this wheel off. I'm using the this Ryobi 18 volt 3-speed impact tool. It's really an awesome tool. I've got the air powered impact gun, but this thing right here works really good, and just taking the wheel off, you know, I don't have to hassle with air hose getting in the way and stuff. Yeah, just zips these lug nuts right off. Oh yeah, there's no pad left there. They're gone. But as you can see, I think I actually caught this thing in time before it ate up the rotor. I don't see any bad lines here, so we're actually going to install the fresh pads, and I'll be honest, I'm gonna not turn the rotor this go around. Yeah, once you get past, once you get here where you can work on stuff, the next step is to actually get the caliper here off. And the way that you do that is there is a bolt here and one down here. A lot of people mistake and see these right here. You don't want to take these off. These are actually the pins that run through here for this bracket here that allows this caliper to slide back and forth like so. Because the way that this caliper works, of course, you have a rubber line here. When you press your brake pedal, pushes fluid into this reservoir right back here. That's behind, this reservoir is behind a piston. As you pump this full of fluid, it pushes on that piston, which there's a brake pad on the inside. It pushes that forward. As it pushes it forward, as far as it'll go, then once it bottoms out that way, the caliper itself will, just due to the laws of physics, will try to go backwards this way, which in turn will make this pad on this side of the rotor so it squeezes, and that's the reason that it slides. So yes, we don't take these off, we take those off. And we have a 17 millimeter here, yeah. Just as I thought, really tight. There we go. And usually once you just crack it loose that first little bit, then you can get it off a little easier with your ratchet. Yeah, that's good and tight. I do want to point out that this is a work truck. And if you'll notice, like, I mean, of course, I'm being careful, but my level of carefulness is not the same as it would be as if I were working on a Mercedes or a BMW, because yeah, this little truck has its fair share of scratches, and paint's not perfect or anything, but on the same hand, I mean, I'm not looking to destroy it, but my main goal right now is to go ahead and get these brakes swapped over, get it where I can get this truck back on the road. And make it safe. So yeah, we are getting these bolts out here. Almost got the bottom one out. There's only two that holds the caliper onto the spindle. That is what these bolts are threaded into, is the back side of the spindle here. Okay, and now that we're unbolted, we just want to use something here to kind of just prise this up just a little bit, get it off of the rotor here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, there's like nothing left there, and when it comes to the thickness overall of the pad material, there's nothing left there. Okay, so I know that, like, one of the things I'm gonna have to do, because these pads are worn over a period of time, of course, as the pads wore, this piston got pushed further and further out. Now, to give an example of just how much difference there is with what's on here versus a new, as you can see, there we go, a lot of difference. So this piston is actually going to have to be pushed back in to allow for clearance for these thicker new pads that are going back in place here. So what I'm going to do to accomplish this is, the first thing is I'm going to push this old pad out of the way, and I'm going to rest this on the steering right here. And I'm going to use this C-clamp to push on the old brake pad there, and we're literally going to just push this piston back into the caliper housing. So we'll have adequate clearance there to make it fit. And it's definitely going back in. Whoa! Oh wow, how about that? Maybe I should have checked the fluid there. It appears as though over a period of time as these pads were wearing down, we were, of course, the volume of brake fluid behind the piston would have been increased due to the fact of the pads wearing out as it going in. So therefore, you go and you get your fluids checked or whatnot at the times of the oil changes or whatever. They would see that it brake fluid was a little bit lower, so you add some to the reservoir. And as I was pushing this piston back in, we just had an overflow of brake fluid, which that's okay, because theoretically, if I pop the hood open, it should still be full. But we are going to check it just to be on the safe side. Alright. So yeah, we've got the piston pushed back in there. And you see how this slides? That's a good sign too. Sometimes these pins can get frozen up due to you know, like people who live in the north, road salt, mud, things like that can actually freeze this stuff up and make it where it doesn't work as good. And this does need to work and be able to float, because if you don't, you're going to wind up with premature wear on pads. Your rotor could become warped due to be pushing on just one side. Several things can happen right there. Okay, so now that we have the old pad is out of the way there, the old pad is still in place here, but that's okay. We have these new retainer clips that hold the edges of the brake pads into the caliper here, and we are going to replace these. And replacing these clips is really just a matter of paying attention to the wear indicators, like so, and basically just reinstalling these just as they come off. Like for instance, this one would go here, and that would go there. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so and these kind of just come out like so. And the new ones go back into the same spot. Next, we're going to basically prise this old pad out of there like so. Get that out of there, and repeat this little process here of getting these clips out, paying attention to how they go. Of course, these little pieces sticking out here are basically wear indicators. because as the pad wears, essentially these will go towards that way. Okay, so yeah, this one goes in here. Alright, make sure to get these pieces out. Okay. So now we just get these little ears here on the new brake pads to go in the clips we just got done installing there, just like so. There's our inside one and our outside one. Just like that, right? Okay, so now we have these brake pads sitting in their new clips. We already have it spread back apart there, and then you just make sure that your pads go on either side of the rotor like that. And then you just take your bolts here and you run them back, thread them back into the caliper here. That did start threading back in. It's good. It's good. Get this bottom one started. And then you just get these things tightened back up. Make sure it's good and tight there. Don't want any caliper coming loose inside the wheel. That would be ugly. Just a little snug right there is all I'm looking for. Yeah, just like so. And voila! Not too bad. This is a fairly easy repair that most people with some regular hand tools can do at home, and save yourself some money from taking it to a shop. And you know, this is like the reason that like myself and other people make these YouTube videos, to show you guys who may not know how to do this kind of repair work, how to maybe get some easy repairs there, kind of help everybody out. And of course, you just repeat this process for the other side there. And of course, don't forget to check your brake fluid afterwards in the master cylinder up underneath the hood. And if you like this video or have any questions, feel free to comment. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And keep an eye out, because we'll be making more how-to videos and other types of stuff also. Thanks again for watching, and hopefully we'll see you back soon.